Welcome back. In today's video, we're tackling one of the most critical skills in technical drawing, converting multi-vivi projections into isometric drawings. We'll focus specifically onto things that often trip people up: visualizing inclined surfaces and determining whether a hole is blind or through. Before we start sketching the details, we have to build the container. Every isometric drawing starts with the bounding box. This box represents the overall width, depth, and height of the object. To find these dimensions, we look at our multi-views. Let's use the front view first. From here, we get the maximum width, which measures 6 units, and the maximum height, which is 5 units. Now, we need the third dimension, the depth. We can see depth from the front view because it's receding directly away from us. So, we move to the top view. Looking at the top view, we can see the overall depth is 7 units. So, to summarize, we have a width of 6, a height of 5, and a depth of 7. With those three numbers, we construct our isometric box. This box acts like a cage. It defines the limits of our object and ensures our final drawing will be perfectly aligned with the given views. Now, let's start adding features inside this box. We'll begin with a specific shape. Looking at the front view, we can see a rectangle that measures 3 units wide and 2 units tall. Using the front view, we get the x-axis width and the z-axis height values for this feature. But to place this rectangle in 3D space, we need its depth, its position on the y-axis. In the front view, depth is compressed into a single line, so we can't see it. We have to look at the top view. From the top view, we can see the location and depth of this feature. In this case, the depth value is 6 units. Now, let's move on to the next feature. Observe carefully. When we look at the top view, we see a rectangle measuring 4 by 1 unit. That gives us 2 of the 3 dimensions we need. But here is where we must think like a designer, not just a draftsman. A rectangle on a flat view is just a shape. To give it volume, to make it a real 3-dimensional feature, we need the third dimension. Where do we find it? We look to the front view. And there it is. From the front view, we see a measurement of 2 units. But pay close attention, this is where many students make a mistake. In the front view, this feature is not shown with solid lines. Instead, it is represented by hidden lines. Those little dashes. What does a hidden line tell us? It tells us that this feature is not visible from the outside. It is inside the material. It is not a through hole that passes completely through the object. Instead, it has a limited depth, in this case, 2 units. So, when we construct this on our isometric box, we must be precise and intentional. We do not carve all the way through. We only go into units deep. No more. This is the difference between a blind feature and a through feature, a distinction that matters greatly in both drawing and real-world manufacturing. Always let the lines guide you. Solid lines tell you what is visible. Hidden lines tell you what lies beneath the surface. Trust them. So far, we have begun constructing our features one by one. Let us now continue with the remaining shapes. What we have left are 2 features. The first is a rectangle measuring 5 by 2 units. The second is another hidden line feature that we can identify from the top view. Let us proceed with the 5 by 2 unit rectangle first. After that, we will move on to the final feature. Now, here is an important principle to keep in mind as we work. When we transfer features from orthographic views to an isometric view, the shape we draw is always determined by the 3 dimensions width, height, and depth, and how those dimensions relate to the feature we are constructing. In the previous feature, we determined the depth of the hole by looking at the front view. That was our reference. In this new feature, the 5 by 2 unit rectangle, we must use the same approach. Observe carefully. When we look at this feature from the top view, we see its shape. But when we look at it from the front view, something interesting happens. We notice that it is not a simple straight edge. It is inclined. This inclination has a depth, and that depth lies along the z-axis. From the front view, we can see that this depth measures 1 unit. So, what do? We carve it accordingly. We let the front view guide us in creating that inclined surface. Now, let us turn our attention to the final feature of this problem. This one requires careful thought. From the front view, we see an inclined line that runs across the 6 by 5 rectangle. On its own, that line is just a one-dimensional element. But we know this is a 3-dimensional object. So that inclined line must have volume. It must become a surface or a feature with depth. To give it that third dimension, we need additional information. Where do we look? We look to the top view. When we examine the top view, we find a hidden line. This hidden line tells us something essential. It tells us that this inclined feature has a depth of 1 unit measured from the front plane. So, let us visualize what is happening. That inclined line in the front view is not just a line. It represents a surface that slopes or steps back. This is the beauty of orthographic projection. Each view holds a piece of the puzzle. The front view gives you the shape and the incline. The top view gives you the depth. Together, they reveal the full three-dimensional truth. So, we construct this final feature with precision and inclined surface that recedes 1 unit into the object, completing our isometric drawing. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments, what's the trickiest part of isometric drawing for you? If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more technical drawing tutorials.